Welcome to the Empower Your Fitness Empire YouTube channel. Now, if I was an expert online fitness or wellness coach and I have client testimonials, I'm confident in what I do, already have a digital footprint, content on social media, but I just, I got kind of burnt out from posting on social media and doing all these things on social media. And now I'm looking for a much profitable, but less stressful business model that I can actually scale to 50K plus months. Or I own a gym, or I have a health or wellness facility, and I'm looking to increase profit margins and increase my LTV without having to do too much with the system that I already have running. This is the exact steps that I would take if I was starting from scratch or bolting on a hybrid suite in the next 7 days. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is King Holmes. I've been in the fitness industry over the last 10 plus years. I've done multi 7 figures here in this industry, and I help fitness, wellness, and health business owners launch and scale their hybrid suite to 50K plus months. And we do that by helping you access capital and then showing you how to invest the capital into your hybrid suite to scale it to multi 6 figures and completely remove you from the business. All right, now I hope you got your pen and paper, because I'm gonna write down the exact steps in the exact order sequence so that in the next 7 days, you can have your hybrid suite launched with consultations booked on the calendar and collecting cash in as little as 7 days. All right, so day one, the first thing I would break down is my client fulfillment. And I would decide on which type of hybrid suite am I gonna go with? Am I gonna go with the strictly executive suite where it's just coaching, there's no training or anything like that? Or am I gonna go with the executive suite, but also do some semi-private training? Now, the only way that this business model works really well so that it's scalable is if you are gonna add any training, it has to be semi-private. Doing this with one-on-one training defeats the whole purpose. But of course, you're your own business owner, you can do whatever the hell you want to, okay? So of course, with this hybrid suite, the number one thing when it comes to the fulfillment is the coaching, all right? So this is going to be a premium online coaching program. That's how we're actually gonna deliver the service. So I'm gonna say, okay, like we're gonna do customization when it comes to the entire program and roadmap and plan when it comes to their nutrition and their exercise and their sleep and their habits and their mindset and their spirituality. Whatever it is that you do for your clients, that's what we're gonna do when it comes to this fulfillment, even with your hybrid suite. Now, how many times are we gonna do our in-person coaching sessions / check-ins? Is that gonna be once a week? Is that gonna be twice a month? Is that gonna be once a month? Whatever you decide, go ahead and make a decision. Now, of course, this can evolve as you start fulfilling clients, but we want to get clear on what that's going to look like from a fulfillment standpoint from day one. And the easiest way to do this is to go inside of your Trainerize or whatever platform you were using to coach your clients and just take that master program and duplicate it, right? So like, you don't want to complicate this when it comes to fulfilling your clients. And I don't recommend that you change up your niche. Of course, your niche has probably evolved from this point, and we'll get to that on day 2, right? But whatever problem you've been solving over the last few years, I highly recommend that you stick to solving that exact same problem. So we're gonna just go inside of Trainerize and duplicate that master program and boom, name it your hybrid suite coaching program, however you wanna do it. And that's gonna be the foundation when it comes to your program. Now, of course, you're still gonna customize things for each client, but now you have an actual foundation when it comes to the master program inside of Trainerize. Now, get clear, are we gonna do the semi-private or we're not gonna do the semi-private? So if you're somebody like me, if I was to start from scratch today, right, I would just do the hybrid executive suite with no semi-private. And this is gonna make sense when we get to day 3, but right now you just need to make a decision. Are you gonna include semi-private, where you're gonna be training clients, if it's 3 to 5, a maximum of 6 at the same time, or you're not doing any type of semi-private, you're just doing coaching inside of the hybrid suite. Now, if you are somebody that's just doing a coaching, another thing that you can actually do if you want to do monthly workshops, right? So you can invite your clients to these in-person monthly workshops. And another thing that you can do with that, you can also invite some of your leads that you generated from that month to this in-person workshop, right? So say, for example, if you're running ads, and then of course you're going to close some clients, you're going to close some leads, but you're also going to get some leads that you don't close. We can do a push every single month to push them towards this workshop and start converting some of those leads at the end of the workshop. So this would be really good for individuals that are really good at in-person events. Maybe you're really good at speaking and you do some speaking engagements, right? Because what you want to do with this business model is play towards your strengths. So if in-person engagement is your strengths, I highly recommend adding those monthly workshops. All right, now let's go ahead and move on to day two. Now that we're clear on the fulfillment, how much are we going to charge for this service? I highly recommend charge. The sweet spot is anywhere between $1,000 to $3,000 for a 2 or 3 month program. Of course, you can charge more than that. You could charge $5,000, you could charge $6,000, $4,500, right? And then from there, that can be anywhere between a 4 month to a 6 month program, right? So it all just depends on what you've been doing in the past, right? So if 3 month programs have been working for you in the past and you've been charging anywhere between $2,000 and $3,000, then go with what's been working, right? Like, don't try to come out the blue and say, hey, you've never charged $3,000, but now all of a sudden you want to charge $4,500, right? You know what I'm saying, for a hybrid suite. Look at what you've been comfortable doing with Zoom, because once you start making these offers in person, your close rate is going to shoot through the roof. And then what's going to be the actual length of the program? 2 months, 3 months, right? Like how we're going to do that. And there's a way when we work with our clients to make your offer very much more attractive, very, very sexy to your avatar, right? And, you know, pretty much an irresistible offer, right? Because we do want an irresistible offer, even though it's in person. And then with that offer, how are we going to position you in the marketplace and with your messaging? This is going to be the foundation when it comes to, you know, setting up your ads, doing your ad video script, your copy for the ads, the landing page, all the copy for the ads, the VSL, like all of those things, because we want how you position your offer. We want the actual messaging to be aligned with that. So when these prospects show up to the consultation in person, they're pretty much already sold. And they're aligned with the type of client that you want to work with, and it sets the right expectations before the prospect even walks through the door. All right, so now we have the fulfillment and we're clear on the offer. Now what we want to do is go and get the location. So the reason why I was asking, are you going to do semi-private or are you just going to do the hybrid executive suite? Because that's going to determine the actual location. Are you just going to get office? Or are you just going to go to a co-working space, something like a WeWork or anything like that, to just get an office space that you can rent for anywhere between $250 a month to $500 a month? Anywhere across the US and in Canada, you can pretty much get a co-working space that is your own private office, and that's how much it'll cost. Now, if you go to a gym and you want to do the semi-private, because you want to do the hybrid suite along with the semi-private training, this is where you're going to have to go to different gyms and see if you can rent a gym for anywhere between $500 or less. It depends on what location you're in. So I know for a fact, if you're anywhere near the Los Angeles area, unless you got, you know, a really good close friend or a plug, you're pretty much going to be paying anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000 a month to rent a space in the gym, right? As an independent contractor, okay? Now, if that's the route that you want to go, just keep in mind your overhead will be a little bit more. But even if you're renting out a space for $1,500 a month and you have a program that's $1,500 or more, one client that you enroll for the month takes care of that actual expense, right? So it still would make sense from a number standpoint. But, you know, in my head, it's like the whole point of doing the hybrid suite is to operate very lean and to make sure that our cost is very low. So the cost to fulfill a client isn't as expensive. But if you did $1,500, it would still be very much profitable. And you can pretty much search when it comes to an office space. You can go on Google and you can search. And on day 3, I would hit up anywhere between, three to 5 spots on that day, ask them their rates. What does it look like? Also ask them how much it would cost to rent out a conference room. So if you're going to do like a speaking engagement once or twice a month, so you want a room that can fit more than 10 people, right? So typically those conference rooms, you can rent anywhere between $100 an hour. Sometimes, they'll give you a nice sweet deal, but also sometimes it comes with the actual rent that you're paying for the office. As long as it's available, you can book it and they won't charge you an additional fee. So it just depends on, what co-working space or WeWork or, the collective, any one of those type of businesses that have those offices. It just all depends. So I would visit anywhere between 3 to 5 spots on that day and then pick one. Sometimes you can just kind of test it out for like 7 days or for 1 month. Some of them have different offers like that, right? But I wouldn't say don't take too long to make a decision. Find one that you like, a good location where there's a lot of foot traffic. People are going back and forth to work. So if someone is driving to the city or driving downtown, they got to pass your office. If they're driving from downtown or from the city to go back to the burbs or a residential area, they got to pass it, right? So you're right in the middle of all of the traffic. So when we're running ads for your actual location, we're targeting people that live in the area, but we're also targeting people that visit that area often as well. All right, now day 4, now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and set up and install the actual sales process. Sales process is pretty simple. We want prospects to book a call. After they book a call, we want them to watch a health assessment video. What that's going to do, that's going to increase the awareness of the problem and also help them become more aware of your unique solution that's going to solve their problem. And that's going to increase your show rate and increase your close rate. And then after that, we want to confirm the actual appointment, and then they're going to actually show up to the appointment. Now, I also do recommend going ahead and doing a via sales, so a video sales letter. I recommend keeping the video sales letter anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes. And that is something that you can put in all the links in your bio. This way, if somebody goes to your social media page or if they search you up on Google, this can actually pop up and they can click on it. They can watch that 5-minute video, and that's another way for them to actually book a consultation if they're not just speaking to you directly in a private conversation or just seeing your ad, clicking on the ad, completing the lead form, and then booking a consultation that way. So I would spend my entire day making sure that I take the messaging from the offer and make sure that all the messaging in the sales process is aligned with that exact messaging. Cool, so now we got our fulfillment, we have our irresistible offer, we locked in a location, and we have our sales process set up. Now here on day 5, we wanna go ahead and get clear on our client acquisition, right? So the number one thing when it comes to this hybrid suite is getting clients with paid advertisement because it's very affordable, it's not expensive at all, and you can enroll multiple clients every single week as long as you're running the system the right way. So for day 5 with your client acquisition, we're going to go over organic. We're going to set up our organic campaign. This organic campaign is going to allow you to liquidate your social media, liquidate any email lists, SMS lists, liquidate Facebook groups, anything that you have where your ideal person that already knows, likes, and trusts you, and their close proximity to you already as far as where you're located. Once you do this organic, you don't have to do, once you start running ads, you don't have to post any more organic content if you don't want to. You can just solely rely on the paid ads. But in the beginning, when it comes to setting up your hybrid suite, I do recommend that you do this organic campaign because this is going to allow you to collect some cash and to get some clients coming through the pipeline so you can start fulfilling some clients. And also now you'll have an actual community. So we want to take your email list, your SMS list, any Facebook groups, your Instagram and Facebook, especially your Facebook, because the people that are friends with you on Facebook are more than likely the people that are very close to where your hybrid suite is going to be. And we're going to come up with a social media liquidation campaign that will allow you to enroll 10 clients over the next 7 to 30 days. When it comes to the contacts that you have, I highly recommend sending them emails, the next day sending them an SMS, and then the day after that, we're actually going to call them, right? This is if you want to collect the most cash possible over the next 7 to 30 days. If you do that, you can definitely book some consultations and start enrolling some clients. Now on the paid traffic side, what we're going to do is we're going to take the messaging from the offer that we did on day 2, and we're going to write the video ad scripts. We're going to do 5 hooks, 5 bodies, 5 call to actions, and we're going to record those on that day. And then we're going to go into our Facebook Ads Manager and we're going to set up a lead campaign. And all we're going to do is create a simple lead form. After they see the ad, they fill out the lead form. And then the next step in that lead form is to book a consultation. Now on day 6, we're actually going to launch. We're going to launch the organic campaign. So what we already mapped out as far as your emails, your SMS, and your organic post on social media, we're going to launch all of that. We're going to turn the actual ads on. Shouldn't take no more than a couple hours for the ads to be active and start spending money. In as little as a couple hours, you should start generating leads and booking appointments. Now, day 7, what we want to focus on is enrolling clients. Yes, collecting cash. So now that you got some appointments set, you want to go ahead and start confirming those appointments, attending consultations, making offers, and collecting cash. Now the goal here is when you first launch, we want to enroll 10 new clients. So if you're charging anywhere between $1,000 to $3,000, when you enroll clients, sure, you can aim for some paid in fulls, but you want to collect a minimum of $500 from each person you enroll. So let's say, for example, if you want to just do an organic launch for the first 30 days and don't run any paid ads, aim for 10 clients. If you enroll 10 clients and you collect $500 from each one of the clients, you've collected $5,000 your first month. And then you have an additional $10,000 to $20,000 coming to you in the next 2 months from those same clients. Now, what we want to do is we want to take some of the profit from the $5,000 and we want to invest that into ads. And the good thing about ads when it comes to targeting for local businesses like your hybrid suite, you can start off with as little as $25 a day. And yes, you can start generating leads and book calls with that ad spend. Now, if you need help with launching your hybrid suite, we help you set up everything from the sales systems to the ads to hiring your first hybrid team member and accessing anywhere between $50,000 to $150,000 in 0% interest business funding to scale your hybrid suite to 50K plus months. You can schedule a call with me. You can click the link somewhere in the description, or you can just simply DM me the word hybrid suite on Instagram. Now in this next video, I'm going to show you step by step on how to get your first 10 clients in 30 days without spending any money on ads. I'll see you there.